You won't believe what happened when the billionaire stopped his own wedding, right in the middle of the hall, leaving everyone gasping in shock. The bride, frozen, the guests, speechless. And then, a poor homeless woman stepped forward, changing everything forever. Welcome to Grandpa Next, the home of emotional life stories that touch the heart and reveal powerful life lessons. Our story begins in the heart of a bustling city, in the most luxurious hotel anyone had ever seen. Alexander Blackwood, a billionaire known for his wealth and influence, was about to marry Vanessa Caldwell, a socialite who had captured the attention of the city's elite. Every detail of the wedding screamed perfection: golden chandeliers, crystal glasses, and a guest list full of the city's most powerful names. But Alexander's heart wasn't as sure as his wealth. Despite his fiancée's beauty and charm, there was a lingering emptiness inside him, a sense that life's true value might not be in gold or status. Across the street, in a dimly lit alley, lived Maya, a homeless young woman who had faced more hardship by the age of 25 than most people would in a lifetime. Her days were a struggle for survival, scavenging food, avoiding dangers, and finding moments of kindness in a world that often ignored her. Yet, despite her hardships, Maya had a heart overflowing with empathy and courage. It was this courage, this kindness, that would unexpectedly change the course of Alexander's life. The wedding ceremony began, filled with the usual pomp and grandeur. Guests whispered about the bride's designer dress and the groom's tailored suit. Yet, inside Alexander, a storm was brewing. He had heard about Maya the day before. A small act of kindness had brought her story to his attention. She had saved a child from being hit by a car, refusing to accept any reward, even though her life was difficult. Alexander couldn't stop thinking about her bravery, her pure heart, and the stark contrast between her life and the glittering, superficial world he had always known. As the ceremony proceeded, Vanessa stood beside him, smiling politely, oblivious to Alexander's turmoil. But Alexander's mind was elsewhere. Could this life, this perfect picture, truly be fulfilling, he wondered. Suddenly, a commotion erupted outside the hotel doors. Guests turned their heads. There, standing in the middle of the driveway, was Maya. She had wandered into the event by chance, unaware that the billionaire she had only heard about would now have his life collide with hers. Wait until you hear what happened after that. Alexander felt a strange pull in his chest, a mix of curiosity, fear, and hope. His instincts screamed at him that something monumental was about to unfold. At the climax of the ceremony, right as the officiant began asking for vows, Alexander dropped to his knees, not to propose, but to speak. His voice, usually calm and commanding, trembled with emotion. "I cannot continue this marriage. Not today. Not while my heart tells me otherwise." Gasps echoed across the hall. Vanessa's smile froze, eyes wide in disbelief. Whispers grew into murmurs of confusion and shock. "And I have found the one who truly embodies courage, kindness, and a heart of gold," Alexander announced. All eyes turned toward the entrance. Maya, standing hesitant and bewildered, was now the center of attention. But what happened next shocked everyone. Alexander invited Maya to step forward. She hesitated, overwhelmed by the grandeur around her, but something inside her urged her to move closer. You saved a child. You helped people even when no one noticed," Alexander continued, his voice breaking. "I realize that life is not about wealth or appearances. It's about heart, courage, and truth. And that is why," he took her hand gently, "I want to spend my life learning from you, growing with you, and honoring the real meaning of life together." Vanessa was speechless. Guests whispered furiously. Some were angry, some confused, but a few were inspired by the raw emotion unfolding before them. Maya, overwhelmed, tried to decline politely, but Alexander insisted. "This isn't about wealth or status," he said. "It's about life. It's about seeing the good in people and following what's right, even when it's difficult." At that moment, the hotel hall, filled with glittering chandeliers, golden decorations, and expensive flowers, felt strangely small compared to the magnitude of what was happening. It wasn't about luxury, it was about human connection, honesty, and courage. Tears welled up in Maya's eyes. She had never imagined being noticed by anyone of such influence, let alone being chosen for her heart rather than her looks or status. Alexander looked around at the guests and then at Maya. Life is short. We must honor it with choices that reflect our hearts, not our wallets. The crowd fell silent, moved by his words. Some guests, inspired by the unfolding drama, reflected on their own lives, realizing how often they had valued superficial things over human kindness. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to Grandpa Next, like this video, share it with your friends, and comment below where you are watching from. The ceremony ended, not as anyone expected, but in a way that would be remembered forever. Alexander and Maya walked out of the hall hand in hand, not because of wealth, power, or appearances, but because of truth, courage, and human kindness. Vanessa, though heartbroken, eventually understood that happiness could not be forced and that love cannot be built on wealth alone. She left gracefully, learning her own life lesson about authenticity and pride. Alexander and Maya's story quickly became known throughout the city, not for its scandal, but for the lesson it carried. True wealth is not money, it is the heart, the courage to do what is right, and the ability to care for others. And that, dear viewers, is the story of how a billionaire learned that the richest things in life cannot be bought. Remember, if you enjoyed this story and felt inspired, make sure to subscribe to Grandpa Next, like this video, share it with your friends, and comment below where you are watching from. Every story we tell is designed to touch your heart and remind us all of the real treasures in life.